You know, there's something about being involved in something that will last forever, that is unlike anything else you'll ever do. Time is very precious. You can waste it doing things that, although they may be good at the moment, they're not profitable for the kingdom. Or you can redeem the time. I cannot tell you how much this has really struck home with me, because I see, and I look around, and I'm not speaking about you, I'm speaking about people who tend to think doing busy work, even busy work for the Lord, versus having your hand to the plow and making that time count to participate, whether it's answering the phones, whether it's calling in. You live far away, call in, keep the phones busy. And if you're here locally, we've got a lot of people training to do a whole lot of things here, involved in anything from editing and QCing, and I've told you, come on. This is the thing that I've wanted to encourage you to do. You know, there's something about being involved in something that will last forever, that is unlike anything else you'll ever do. I got to give you some frame of reference of where I'm coming from. Otherwise, it just sounds like just said something good, but it doesn't tell you why this kind of bubbled up inside of me. I have a shelf of books, and this particular shelf is filled with books that are, we'll call them, you know, authors that, you know, they wrote one book back in the 50s or the 60s. They're not necessarily books that are straight influenced by the Word of God. They're kind of like we'll call it a watered down, pulled away. And I was looking at this shelf and I was thinking, I got to get rid of these books. It was taking up space because I need the room. Got to get rid of these books. And I was thinking, no, I'm going to leave the books there. Do you know why? Because some of those books remind me, I have to pass by them almost every day. Some of those books remind me that what's on that shelf bears no fruit. Sorry, I know that sounds bad. I look down at the books produced, that series right there that's by my monitor that you can see of the Dr. Scott pulpit, that will keep bearing fruit until Jesus comes. That's straight Bible teaching. There's no feel-good, what do you call that, life coaching. It's all about the Word of God. That will be good until Jesus comes. That will not change. It has not changed. It will not change. And that's when I say, that's what redeeming the time, when you've touched on something that is eternal. Redeeming the time becomes something far beyond just a Bible verse or an expression. You realize that your hand is actually essentially attached in eternity to things you're doing right here, because you're handling the eternal Word. I can't think of anything more valuable to do, whether you have an hour or you have several hours, and attached to that, it's not just straight, you know, books, but everything that is a part of participating here is directly attached to that. There isn't anything we do here that's some auxiliary, you know, off to the side outlet of something. It all comes back to the same place. And there are those people who work on the website. What are they doing it for? To keep the Word going out, to keep the Word. It's all about that. So it's almost like I had this fresh realizations. I stopped in front of that bookshelf and I said, I got to get rid of those books. And I said, no, I'm going to keep them there. It's a reminder that for some strange reason, those books, which are not that it's bad, but as opposed to other books I have in my library that are important because they deal with the Word of God. And to me, that's a testimony right down there to those books, the pulpit that is being, again, in production, that says this is something that is eternal, It's not going to be like a book on a shelf where someone's going to go, I need to get rid of those books, because what's in there is solid Bible teaching. So I can't think of anything better if those folks out there say, well, you know, I do something, but get rid of the but. I mean, the but's always the problem. Get rid of the but, okay? And so that's one thing I wanted to share with you, because at the end of everything, I don't really know what even if whatever you do in your life, I really don't know what's going to matter the most. I mean, you can say, I did certain things here, I did certain things there, but at the end of the day, those people who are perpetuating, helping to perpetuate and keep the teaching going in whatever that form is, those people are touching on something that long after I'm gone and you're gone, that word will still continue. The preservation and the propagation of the teaching materials from this ministry. I can tell you absolutely, after a line in the sand that was drawn many years ago, that's really the battlefield. For those people who think, well, there is no battle, and there's the battle right there. Now you can hypothesize about things you'd like, or fantasize about things you'd like to battle over, but I can't think of anything more important than helping me get the word out. So I'm still recruiting folks to do that, to help me. I can't do it by myself, I told you that. And even with the folks we have, it's kind of slow. I know many of you have put your name in, and a lot of people are going to be trained for different things, which is exciting to me, should be exciting to you. Just the prospect that even if you're running an air shift, that somebody is tuning in, and it's more than one individual tuning in while you're getting those messages out through the air shift. That's pretty fantastic. There's a whole host of reasons why, just, you know, anybody who doesn't want to help, they're excuse-making, lazy, or whatever. I mean, I understand, if you live far away, that's your dispensation, but then keep the phones busy. Call in and keep the voices of faith, even at odd hours. Pick up the phone. If you wake up in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't sleep, call in and say you're making a faith connection. Ask the voice of faith to pray for you that you go back to sleep. Give them something to do, right? Now, I need you to get on the telephone. I need those reservations and your commitments. Get on the telephone.